Welcome to another Eurovision Kiki. This week we are going to continue on with our deep dive into 2015. Are y'all excited about the second semifinals?
Ooh.
Of course. Great lineup.
It's a good lineup. I think we have some thoughts, as always. There are going to be some interesting conversations, and I've after viewing these, I always view it from obviously what's my opinion, but then I'm like, okay, what's Katie going to say about this, or what's Steven's definitely saying this,
Yeah.
So, viewing it through like three lenses at once.
Yeah.
Yep. This was a good second semifinal, and my first question though is, what was going on with Conchita's hair? The weave.
It was a little flat.
I don't know.
It felt a little, I don't know.
Not her best wig.
It was
They
giving...
can't all be winners.
No, it can't, but it was definitely, it's 2015. Let's give grace where grace need be given, but it was definitely giving like suburban soccer mom on her way to drop the children off at practice.
And go get wine drunk with her friends.
Yes, but not until she goes and makes sure that the groceries have been like done. She's got to run her errands first.
Yeah.
She's got places to be. She did that during the day, and then in the evening she was at Eurovision.
Semifinal to Conchita drives a minivan.
Hardcore. As she's dropping the children off. Yep. But I was just, what's happening?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Why did we do that? Other than that, though, she did great hosting the green room once again. So, props to you.
And we got the flag ceremony once again, which was really nice to see.
Yes, the stage was theirs as they built that bridge again.
I mean, it's a little cliche, but I really appreciated that, and just again introducing the countries that this is the only time we're going to see you, so let's make the most of it.
Right.
Absolutely. So I was happy to see that. Also interesting, and we will probably get into this a little bit more in the grand final, but this was Monica from Lithuania's debut in the Eurovision Song Contest, and she did a duet. As we know, Monica then returned back in 2023 as a solo artist and represented Lithuania. So it was really great to see her.
Not put that together in the moment. So thank you for...
Yeah.
You're so welcome. I saw that and I was like, I got to go double check and make sure that this is not two different people. And it was, in fact, yes, Monica with her debut that year doing a duet. So I was excited to see her.
Well, and yes, we will definitely get into her. She did advance to the finals, so she will be in our finals recap. Although we do have 7 songs who didn't make the cut. And so
did not.
We started at the bottom. That's what we're going to do.
And that's what we're going to do.
So,
do we want to do a quick run through of the countries that competed in semifinal 2 for our listeners?
Why not?
Why
not?
Give us
a rundown, Steven.
All right. So in the semifinal 2 for the 2015 Eurovision Song Contest, we had Lithuania, Ireland, San Marino, Montenegro, Malta, Norway, Portugal, at the time Czech Republic, also known as Czechia now, Israel, Latvia, Azerbaijan, Iceland, Sweden, Switzerland, Cyprus, Slovenia, and last but not least, Poland for a second semifinal.
And that was the run order, correct?
Run order.
Also run order, correct, yes.
Perfect. All right. So, sadly, last place is just a place, but that went to Switzerland with their song Time to Shine by Melanie Renee.
I said she crawled so Bambi Thug could run. Basically, like, it kind of had, because it had that like witchy-ish vibe, but I also I thought that she could have benefited from her song not being sung in English. I think we've seen that a few times in these semifinals, particularly is some of the non-qualifiers. It's like you can tell it's just a little less comfortable for them, and especially when you can like hear the accent a little thick, it's like maybe she would have liked to do this not in English and might have been able to benefit from that. I thought last felt wrong, but we'll get to more of why when we get to the next one.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I completely agree with you. I did say this wasn't amazing, but did it deserve 4 points and that's it?
No.
No.
Katie, I like your analogy that she walked so Bambi Thug could, fly.
Yeah.
Because to me, it is a good song, but the performance didn't match it.
Yeah,
that's where it totally lost me. I'm like, what are we doing? What is happening?
Is a common complaint for non-qualifiers that we have.
Yeah.
Is when something about the energy, whether it's the staging or the performance or the language or whatever, there's like just something that's like a little off, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
So I totally agree that there was just something in the performance that I was like, it does not compute. Just there.
Yeah.
It doesn't carry the same weight. It doesn't have the Stan vibes that we've been listening to this song for 8 months.
Right.
So
no.
I have to go on what I'm seeing. And
absolutely. And I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. The performance, the staging, all of it just didn't match up to me to be like, this could have gone somewhere totally different if it was just executed differently.
Yeah.
And maybe we would have seen more than 4 points.
I would have liked to see a little bit more sustained spookiness, because it started out super spooky and then it kind of melted into a little bit more mainstream, and I was like, just commit. Like, we love a witch.
I like
just
sustained spookiness.
Yeah.
I love that. And this time of year, right? I want some more sustained spookiness.
Absolutely.
We're getting into fall. Like, give me that.
There was a chill in the air this morning.
There was. It was quite crisp.
I will also mention that even the hosts kind of made fun of the wind effect. And this was a very heavy-handed wind effect. I was like, she's going to be blown away. Like,
and it was the just way that she's got like her draping.
Yeah. And because she chose such a light fabric, the chiffon can take a whisper and turn it into like gale force winds. And so it's like, even if the wind wasn't that strong, she chose chiffon. You know?
Her team did her no justice.
Let's also point out that she went after Måns from Sweden. So that's a tough act to follow.
There's also that.
Who, spoiler alert, came in first place for this semifinal. So,
right.
And yeah.
We'll get into that one.
We're just talking about this semifinal.
But, you know,
we'll get into that later.
That's a tough act to follow. And was there a performance after? I can't remember.
Yeah, she went 14th. So then 15th we had
Cyprus.
Right.
And then Slovenia, both in the top. Okay.
So that was tough placement for something that was a little bit more experimental.
Yeah.
But I think we all agree that 4 seems a bit...
That's harsh.
Extreme.
It's a little harsh. Could have done better. I mean, I'm looking at our next one, and I have a lot of questions.
Let's get into it.
Let's ask those questions. So
San Marino. Chain of Lights by Michelle Perniola and Anita. Oh, I can't read my own handwriting.
Simoncini?
Sure.
Let's go with that.
They got 11 points. So I guess they got over double Switzerland. So there's that. It's not much.
Who's gonna like? Which one of us is gonna make the High School Musical reference?
Oh, this was 100% Junior Eurovision. It was Kids Bop.
I said.
Yeah, my thought was, this is the kind of shit that people make fun of Eurovision for. Like, this is the kind of like ultra saccharine, like world peace, we can change the world kind of like overly what's the word I'm trying to look for? I don't know, just saccharine. I already said it. But like overly sweet kind of thing that like when
It's too bubblegum. It's too
yes.
basic. It's too everything.
It definitely had a "We Are the World" moment / vibe,
but without the star power.
Without it, but also I'm going to take a step back. They were the youngest in the entire lineup, not just for semifinal 2, but the entire class of 2015 Eurovision Song Contest.
And it shows.
But it showed. It was very what you said as well. I even put it in my notes. Are we sure this wasn't meant for Junior Eurovision Song Contest?
Yeah.
But also like all of the things. I'm like, this is High School Musical, Eurovision edition. This is We Are the World. This is very bubblegum compared to what other countries had brought. This is not the same caliber.
Right.
And San Marino definitely missed the mark. What was that, Doug?
Do you have their ages? Do we know how old they were?
Well, you have to be at least 16 to compete in Eurovision Song Contest. If they were the youngest that year,
probably in their late teens.
Because part of me,
late teens.
Conspiracy
but also, if I
theory
remember,
wants to say that like they turned 16 and then somebody said, "Hey, let's actually send this to Eurovision,
out of
not
junior."
Yeah, well, and if I remember correctly, during Conchita's Green Room segment, she was interviewing them from San Marino and maybe even said something to the extent of like, you are the youngest contestants in Eurovision history.
Oh, interesting.
So there could also be that little disclaimer here where they did in fact age out of Junior Eurovision. So,
and like I also noticed just production wise, like I could hear the crowd cheering louder than the song. Like it felt like it was the mix was off. And I know I feel bad knowing that they're so young, but where was the key?
Not the spoken word moment too.
Staying on key is key.
Yes, it is.
There was all
yes.
Now, with that being said, I do want to see where they are, 10 years later. Here we are, 10 years later, 11 years later. Where are they at now? Mm-hmm. Maybe there's been some elevation. Throw your hats in the gauntlet again. Let's see what happens.
Maybe our followers know what they're up to and can tell us in the comments.
Please
do. They have been doing since.
Yes.
So the last thing I'll mention is they definitely went for all the like ways to get engagement. They're like lights and swaying and let's do a clapping moment. And like they really wanted to get the crowd hyped. And so to your point, Katie, like you hear them cheering, but like everyone's louder than they actually are hearing it. Mm-hmm. So
they got 11.
It's just like, we'll cheer so we don't have to hear you.
They got 11 points worth of hype. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. And then with that, speaking of young performers, we go to Iceland with Unbroken by Maria Olafsdottir. Sure.
And yep.
I like the first impression and just what really remained was this. She's so young. And she's on stage barefoot, like so just like innocent, young. And so I like felt bad.
Yeah.
Not loving it.
She was 22 when she participated.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, that's shocking to me that she was 22.
I just put, just a girl enjoying her song and enjoying her moment. And I would have been okay if this song would have qualified.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you why. Hera Bjork in the background as backup singer. Queen can do no wrong. Mm-hmm. So,
so we wanted to advance for the backup.
It's more so like to see Hera Bjork qualify than anything. But
and
also,
it was a sweet song.
It was a cute song. Yeah.
It was cute. Like it was. I didn't see a ton wrong with it. I mean, she came off a little inexperienced for sure. And I think like playing so hard into like the youth and like the youngness of it kind of worked against her a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't have minded if it qualified,
It
but
wasn't, yeah, it wasn't offensive to the ears by any means. Like, I don't think she had the stage presence that we talk about a lot. And
right.
yes, she had some backup singers on stage, but for the most part, they were pretty camouflaged, like hiding
Mm-hmm.
in the corner. So,
Yeah.
but she didn't have that to carry the song, in my opinion. And the thing that threw me off, and maybe I missaw it, but she was barefoot on stage,
Yeah,
right?
she was
Like, she didn't even
barefoot.
She
have a
was
ballet
barefoot.
slipper or anything.
No,
Like,
she was
No.
full barefoot.
It was definitely just
not a
kind
fan
of like
of that.
That's
feel
why
the,
I think it
it's
was
like
just
feel the
so
music.
it was like too infantile.
It's the angelic, feel the music, be in the moment.
But
I'm just gonna like,
you can be
well, and
angelic in a shoe.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that she delivered it well.
Right,
I'm
but
just
that's
saying
what they were going
yeah,
for.
that's what it came across as what they were going for. Yeah,
For sure.
so just
Ended up with 19 points, or excuse me, 14 points. So I guess we're creeping up, and congratulations.
you didn't come. You didn't come in
get
last.
4.
Yeah. Hera, you did great. If you see this, we're proud of you.
And we love you forever.
Always and forever. And so with that, we get to 14th place, Portugal. I'm not even going to attempt that, but the translation is, if it's the sea that separates us. That is the translation.
Yeah, that looks about right.
By Lenore Andrade.
You're doing great.
So I actually didn't mind it. I thought of these songs, it could have advanced. I could have replaced it with a couple others that did make the top 10. So
I'm in the same boat as you. This is one of the ones that I was surprised. This is one of the ones I'm like surprised didn't qualify, because there are some that creeped in and did qualify. Wasn't mad at it, but just wasn't Portugal's year.
I have a similar thought too with Switzerland. Like, she came out hard and she came out rocking, and then it just was a pop song. And I like really wanted her to just like be a rock star, because she came out with that rock star energy, and then it just kind of like zoom. And so then when you want a song, if anything, to do the opposite and like end on this like a rock star note, it just kind of it fell off, and that was kind of disappointing, because I really wanted it to go harder for the whole song, because it's like clearly she's got it, clearly she could do that, but then the song just kind of like tapered, and I frankly kind of lost interest and wasn't really paying that much attention by about halfway through.
Oh, bless it.
But I don't hate the song, and
we need
I just wanted it to be, like I said, more sustained energy.
Yeah, I think that is a valid critique, because as I'm watching it, I'm like, there's just I couldn't put words to it. So thank you, because I feel like what you just said and me going, oh yeah, nope, that's exactly what I wanted from this. I wanted a little bit more. I wanted that sustained bit.
More rock star energy.
If you're going to commit, do it.
I mean, I have some questions about the actual staging of it all, and bangs. Are bangs ever a good idea? I don't think so. I don't.
I'm a fan for a good bang.
It depends.
So I wasn't a fan of that, and she definitely leaned into the wind effects, and her sleeves were certainly a choice to ensure that we got that wind effect.
Correct.
So maybe it was the year of people were just like raging against the wind, and so their votes reflected that. That's what it was. But at the end of the day, they did manage to get 19 points. And I think we start to see a bigger jump as we get higher. So I think these bottom 4, really their points didn't give them much of a chance. So any other thoughts on Portugal?
Nope.
Pour one out for them.
Yep.
Or one out for Portugal. So next up we have Czechia or Czech Republic or whatever you want to call it in the moment. And this is Hope Never Dies by Marta Jendova and Glavnoid Barta.
So
And they received 33 points.
that makes no sense to me how this did not come in last place. Why? How? It is completely unnecessary to take your heels off in the middle of a performance and just throw it at the floor. What is going on?
At first, I assumed that it was like her heel broke and like we're having a stage moment.
No,
but rewatching it, I'm like, oh
that
no,
was
she
a
did that.
stylistic choice.
And like at first, I
And a
thought she
weird
was going to
one.
throw it. At first, I thought she was going to throw it at him.
Mhm.
And no, she's just aggressively throwing it on the floor, and I'm like, that's not necessary.
Somebody
Like-
was in a meeting and said, here's a great idea, and everyone in the room went, oh my gosh,
yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
And somehow they still got 33 points, and this did better than Iceland. It did better than Switzerland. It did better than...
I'll give them that.
mean,
I think it's still better than Switzerland, and I think it's still better than San Marino. But
yeah, I'll give them San Marino.
It's rough.
Mhm.
It's rough.
I'll give him San Marino. For me, especially coming off of 2025, it like there was something about it that had the same like energy as Mila.
Oh my god.
And but with a lady. And I was just like, it's just like really not for me. But I also was like, I just didn't really have a lot to say. But I was honestly offended that they didn't have more of a budget to do anything with that ponytail. Like her hair was just like slapped up in a ponytail, like not even like a power pony. Like we couldn't even wrap our hair around it and make it like look intentional. Like it literally. And then with the shoe move, I was like, did she just like run off the subway to get here? Like what was happening? It was so confusing. It was all wrong for me.
You know, it's like old school RuPaul's Drag Race when a drag queen does an unnecessary like wig takeoff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, do not remove your wig unless you have another wig to reveal.
Right.
And if you're literally taking off your shoe and you are not revealing another shoe,
right.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sashay away.
I will
sashay away.
I'm actually surprised, Stephen, that you didn't say that, like, oh, this guy, he was attractive, woof. I'm actually surprised you haven't said that already.
No.
It feels like something that I was expecting that from you.
There was, I had to stare for a while, and then I was like,
if you have to linger
know.
too long.
I thought about it.
Dog.
I thought about it, but at the end of the day, the song gave nothing.
Yeah.
The ballad was boring.
It was like distractingly nothing.
Yeah. For 3 minutes.
Distractingly nothing is like my new catchphrase for all my catchphrases.
If anything, that should have been the name of their song, Distractingly Nothing.
Hope never dies, or does it?
They sure tried. They sure tried to kill it.
They sure tried.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Now we will move on to 12th place, Ireland, Playing with Numbers by Molly Sterling.
Oh,
she barely beat Czechia, so she got 35. So we're moving up in the world, I guess.
This felt like an Irish pub song. If I was back in Ireland and I found myself in a pub and I heard somebody playing on the piano, this is that song. Like
it's decent background music.
It's very Irish singer-songwriter. Yeah. I mean, it's
that.
like coffee house, like kind of vibe.
Yeah. There is nothing super horrible about the song and like the performance or staging or anything like that. They all worked very well together. They were very cohesive, but nothing stood out.
I thought her voice was interesting, like positive, interesting. Like I liked it, and she does have a unique voice, and that was all I could take away from it. I was just kind of bored.
I don't know if it was just me and I was having an off day, but I was having trouble understanding her pronunciation a little bit. So I was just like, pronunciation matters. If you are going to be singing in English, which is the only language I really know, I can't understand you.
Doug needs the
I feel like that's
subtitles.
apparently. I don't know. I had some trouble there. But at the end of the day, it wasn't an offensive song by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But it's forgettable.
As a recording, again, great coffee house, Irish pub,
good study
music. Yeah. I enjoy it. Starts and stops there.
Yeah.
And with that, we now get to our 11th place, which was Malta and Warrior by Amber, and she received 43 points. Now, she was still 10 points away, so Azerbaijan took 10th place with 53 points. So she was our closest to be a qualifier. Yeah. Should she have qualified?
No. A couple observations from this semifinal. None of the non-qualifiers was I upset that they didn't qualify. Like, I was like, yeah, that's fair. Pretty much with all of them.
Okay.
And something that I thought was interesting between the two semifinals, the distance, like the points differential between non-qualifiers and qualifiers was big. And so it, like, there was no one that was like a point away. It was like 10 and I want to say like 15 or 20 for the first semifinal. So like they were distant non-qualifiers, which I thought was kind of fair.
This was a stronger semifinal in my opinion between the two.
Agreed.
Do I think Malta should have been in the second semifinal? I think that there was an opportunity for them to have advanced, but I think that they did not necessarily plant themselves or set themselves up, you know, as from a staging and a performance piece, to like get there to like the finish line. You have two songs on this in the 2015 playlist titled Warrior. Like Georgia went pretty dark and pretty like intense with their song Warrior, and Malta to me went like a little bit more soft, and she was also a little bit shaky in her vocals at the very beginning. And so to me, I just was like, if you're going to be delivering the message Warrior and that's where you're like going with it, like do that, like be a little bit more aggressive, be a little bit more like with your delivery. And to me it just came across a little bit more soft. So I think that's where there was some missed opportunities. I think she could have easily taken Cyprus out of the equation. I think she could have easily taken Azerbaijan out of the equation. Those ones to me were kind of the ones that saw an opportunity to crack into the top 10 and they took it. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. I mean, my takeaway was she's super talented. Like by the time she, you know, I think got over the nerves, which I could totally see at the beginning, like her voice is good. Like she's a strong vocalist. But at the end of the day, similar to what we've said about some of these other ones, I just kind of immediately forgot about it. And it was just kind of meh to me. Like I really liked the message of the song and I really liked the lyrics. But by the time we moved on to whoever was next in the red order, I can't remember. But I was just kind of like, huh? Who? You know?
Where are we going?
Well, yeah. And they went pretty early on in the show. They were fifth in the run order. So I think to your point, they could have gotten lost. Now, for me, I like the song. I don't like the staging. The background was giving Windows Media Player Visualizer. And
you're right.
You know, like
yeah.
I don't know. There was no thought really put into how this song is going to be portrayed on the stage.
It was kind of like Malta was like, okay, we got a song. You have a big LED screen behind you. We'll put some shit on it.
Yep. Ready, set, go.
Right.
Make it work.
Now,
Liners.
I would have them qualifying if it was up to me. I would have easily bounced out Azerbaijan, and we'll talk about this when we do our full recap. I would have gotten rid of Norway. I don't know how they got fourth place in the semifinals. I watched it and I was just, what is this? So we could talk about that a little bit more, but I would have easily put Malta in over either Azerbaijan.
Yeah, I would say of all of the non-qualifiers, that's where I go. Like Malta is the one that like could have snuck in there, but just didn't have. It wasn't in the works.
Obviously, the points reflect that you were the closest to. And even if you look at 8th place through 11th place, it's 57, 57, 53, 43. So there was something happening that, point distributions, if they had been even tweaked slightly different, if you didn't have Windows Media Player Visualizer as your staging.
Who knows?
There you go.
Possible things could have happened. So let's see. With all of that being said, that leaves us with 7 that did not qualify, and that got us these final 10 that advanced to the grand final that includes Lithuania, Montenegro, Norway, Israel, Latvia, Azerbaijan, Sweden, Cyprus, Slovenia, and Poland. So that gave us our lineup, which then takes us to, and they made a note of this, for the first time ever, we would have 27 performing at the grand final because this was an anniversary year and it was also Australia's debut year. So they were also given the golden ticket as well. So we are going to have a good lineup for the next week's episode of Eurovision Rewind for the grand final.
It's going to be good finals.
Yes. We have so much shit to talk about these songs that did qualify.
Also true.
So with that, we're interested to know if folks are listening along with us and what you thought of the second semifinal. By all means, drop a comment down below if you are listening to this on Spotify or YouTube. But that should do it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to us once again. Be sure to like this week's episode by just giving it a little thumbs up, or consider subscribing to one or multiple of our platforms. You can subscribe to us on YouTube or Spotify at the Eurovision Kiki podcast channels. You can also follow us on the socials. You can see us on Instagram and TikTok at Eurovision Kiki. But I think for this week, that'll do it for the three of us, Doug, Katie, and myself. So hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Listen to some great music. And until then, we'll see you all at our next Kiki.
Bye.
Bye.